How's your body and how is your soul? My name is Denise Dennis Walu, one and only of Nigeria Info FM Port Harcourt. So it's Wednesday again. I know. I mean, I was feeling somehow. I mean, I get to come to work and only spend about roughly 1 hour with you. And before you know it, now the day is over. But don't worry, we'll try to make the most of the day. A lot of things have been happening simultaneously. I mean, while we are battling with what's happening in Nigeria, things are happening in other parts of the world. And as much as we may turn a blind eye to some of those happenings, the effects can be felt in any part of the world. In fact, what I'm about to discuss today is no respecter of race, age, or gender. We're talking about emotions. Now, the people that even call themselves experts when it comes to helping people manage their emotions, people are required to be emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent as adults. But what about children? So we're going to be talking about handling children's emotions. Another edition of Parenting presents how to help a child with their emotions. So something happened during the Valentine season in another country. I'll share that with you, and then we will start the discussion. But the question remains, how can children help to better understand their emotions and manage them? It is one thing to feel the emotion. It is another thing to understand why you feel that kind of emotion. And it is yet another thing to know how to manage that emotion. And what role can parents play in all of that? Feelings of anger, feelings of rejection and disappointment, feelings, whatever feelings they are, sadness, grief, all of those feelings. Those are the kind of feelings that we'd like to look at today. So I'll just share with you something I found. A mother had been called out for hailing her son, Andrian, after he wrote a toxic letter to a girl who rejected him. The boy's teacher intercepted the note before it could get to the girl and told the mother about her son's action. Now, it is not the fact that the boy was rejected. It is not the fact that the rejected boy wrote a note. I mean, he was feeling some type of way, I guess. But it was what the mother did when she saw the content of that note. That is the reason we are having this conversation. So I'll read the content of the note. Okay, so these are posts from the teacher, the dialogue between the teacher and what's it called now? The mom. Good afternoon and happy Valentine's Day. Another girl told Andrian that she did not want to be his Valentine today, and Andrian wrote this letter for her. I spoke to him about it. I did not write him up, but I thought you should know about it. However, rather than correct her son, the mom proudly shared the letter online. And it reads, Dear Serenity, I don't hope you have a good Valentine's Day. I also hope you have a horrible day. You're gonna hate me, okay. I'm about to roast you, okay. Here we go. Tell me why your mom is so fat. When she jumped, she broke the earth's core. You're so ugly. Even Shren said, why you're so ugly, you're so dumb. When someone said, what's 1 + 1, you said 22. You're so dumb, your IQ is 1. Your mom's so fat that when she was a kid, she was already 1,000 pounds. You're so ugly that you got an award, how ugly you are. The boy's mother seemed proud of her son for writing it, because she wrote alongside the letter, Don't play with my son. If you know my son, you know how sweet he is. He was hurt, and the DC in him came out. Them NC girls can't take him. He went viral on Twitter, man. I look at the letter. And I shook my head. And it was more like, this mother is clearly toxic because she's teaching her son, being proud of teaching her son toxicity. How did your son even think of bullying another girl? Writing such hateful things to another girl simply because she turned him down on St. Valentine's Day. And then the mom came back to defend her actions. And then there was a back and forth online. But the bottom line is this. This boy was feeling a certain type of way. And let's say it was because this boy was feeling that type of way that this boy wrote this letter. At the point when you realize that your son is feeling a type of way or your child is feeling a type of way, what do you do? Now, let's move this conversation away from the feeling of rejection to the feeling of grief. As much as adults lose people, sometimes the people lost, the deceased, have children. Or they have children that sort of are close to them that will feel the loss as much as the adults will feel the loss. How do you go about making them understand that the feeling is normal? How do they go about it? A friend of mine, my best friend actually, we lost a daughter. And she had an older daughter. And to be honest, we didn't know how to tell the older daughter that her younger sister was gone. Because as at the time the baby died, she was just barely 1 year and some months. At the time the baby died, she was in school. So everything we were doing, we were trying to rush up, take her to the cemetery so that we could have a burial for the baby before this other one will come back. And the idea was I should take the other one away, But then, the child was already pretty smart. She would typically come back home and ask about her sister and want to play with her baby sister. So, why were you taking me away? But I have school tomorrow, right? So she would definitely ask questions. And when she hadn't seen her sister for hours, where is my sister? She started calling her sister's name. And at some point, one of the adults had to own up and say, you know what? Your sister is no more and she has even been buried. Feeling of grief by a child. So how was that child feeling? Who cared? As much as a lot of us want to console the mother, it's not the mother that experienced a loss alone. The child equally experienced a loss. Feeling of anger. I have seen children throw tantrums. I have literally seen a child ask the mother, "How dare you? How dare you?" I have witnessed this. The child is angry. And the child felt you did not have the right to do whatever it is you're doing. So how dare you? Now, in Nigeria, we would term that as the child being disrespectful. Who born you to ask your mama and papa, how dare you? But then again, why would the child say, how dare you? The child is angry. Who teaches that child to manage the emotions so that when the child becomes older, the child does not get to an advanced level of that level of displayed anger? What other feelings can we possibly think of? Feeling of sadness. Is there even a possibility that children can get depressed as well as adults? Feelings, emotions. Understanding and managing emotions is important for development and well-being in children as well as in teenagers. Recognizing and naming emotions helps children understand emotions. This lays the groundwork for managing emotions. Now, children and teenagers will need help with their emotional skills. Who will be in charge of helping? A professional? Or we look to the parents? Because they literally are the foundation ground for whatever the child will turn out to be in the future. So when we see a badly behaved child, they say, your mama no train you well. Your papa no train you well. When we see a child who is going about destroying people's stuff when they're angry, They say, they didn't train you well. At what point did they miss it in the level of training them from childhood that they grow up to be those kind of partners that become abusive, harming each other with hurtful words, going as far as being violent physically, or getting to the point where they destroy stuff? Have you seen some people get angry? They break tables, they scatter their televisions, they destroy their partner's stuff. A girlfriend is angry with her boyfriend. She goes to the boyfriend's house. She gets one heavy equipment, and she's smashing the glass on his table. She's smashing the TV. She's smashing the car windscreen. She's destroying things. And they say, "Oh, na so and they vex like this. It's insane. Someone not be today. This thing that oh." How can children be helped to better understand and manage their emotions? Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. Again, 0809 030 6416. So this is it. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, you can always send a WhatsApp message, and in the course of the conversation, I would read your messages. Do note your call screener is on standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you would hear will not be my voice, but that of the call screener. We're live on X and Facebook. Our X handle is at Nigeria Info PH, and our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Nigeria Info, good afternoon and welcome to the sunny side. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side. Hello? I can barely hear you. Could you please speak up? Yes, good afternoon. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't know if it's the phone lines, but again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. You pay attention to children's emotion. If you're one who is saddled with the responsibility of nurturing, caregiving, and catering to the welfare of a child, turn off your radio set, George.
Hello?
Yes, George from LMA, turn off your radio set,
okay.
Please.
On the topic of discussion, I think parents should be held responsible for their children's behavior outside, because most kids learn from their parents. If the father is the kind of person that gets angry at every slight occasion. Hello?
I'm with you.
Okay. If the father is someone that gets angry like that, you should expect the child to emulate the father. And if the mom is also like that, you should expect them to behave like their parents. Snake no go born monkey. Then another thing I see there is that if the mother is somebody that uses violence to get what she wants, then expect the child to behave like that. If the father also abuses physical abuse to control his family, expect the child to behave like that. The church can only talk, but the children are more close to their parents every day. And on the streets, the same thing. So gone are the days when your neighbor corrects your children. These days, everybody just mind their business. And that's why we're having this news in the society today. But I pray that parents are listening and are helping their ones out there on this topic.
Well, but the truth of the matter is, some of those parents that display some of these behaviors, they are not proud of them all. In fact, some of them would like for their children not to replicate those behaviors. However, for them, they can't help it. In short, they tell me this is how I am. Live with it. But what about the
one thing I say is that most parents cannot offer what they don't have. Now, personally, I used to have other issues. But on my own, I begin to accept myself that all of the things I've lost, job, money, I just get angry and forget about it. And it's hitting me. Then what do I have to do? I have to come to a point when I need an anger therapist. I need to begin to read and listen to scholars on that field, on how to deal with my emotions. Because most of the people you see in prison today, it's not because they stole, it is their emotion that led them to where they are. Not because they committed any crime, but it's their emotions. They fail to manage it. And when you fail to manage it, you can do anything. That's where I will hang up for other callers to make their contribution.
All right, thank you, George. Zion from GRA, welcome to the sunny side. Talk to me.
Good afternoon to you, D-Square.
Good afternoon to you, Zion.
Let me speak as a father.
Go ahead.
The importance of a father can be seen physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and relationally. I guess that's one word to find it funny to get now. Relationally in the life of their male child. That's what we are discussing today, not the female child. And this is one area most male child are lacking. In the context of the discourse, the father was not mentioned, which means there's an error.
Well, let's not look at it that way. I mean, between a couple, sometimes the woman is the one who is out there socially and the man is not. Sometimes it's even the man and the woman is not out there on social media.
That is a risk behavior for the sake of the children. If the father is not social, then it's not worthy to be a father.
Really?
It's not. The first call-off point for a child to exhibit their social character lies on their father. Let us take a practical example. Adeleke, governor. You see that man? If you see his children, you will know that these people are social people. Social character. If you don't have it, your children will be intimidated. They will become introverts. They will not be able to express themselves. They will not be able to locate themselves. They will be easily be depressed and frustrated, just like this later. Can you see the depression from that child? Because a girl said no. He poured his venom. He could have insulted her mother, their destiny, their one of the lies that got me. D-Square. Take me, Mr. Zion. I've said it before now. If you see my kids anywhere and they're quiet, they are not talking, they are not gisting, they are not laughing, they are quiet, please call the police. Somebody just kidnapped them. You catch it. If your children cannot laugh, they can't play, they can't jump, they can't break glass apple, they can't give you high blood pressure in the house, they are not your children and something is wrong. If that child have had that social ability, you should know that this girl only said no today. I will write her another letter on the 25th of February. She must say yes. Although I don't even encourage this Valentine thing for teenagers. But we are looking at the psyche of our children. How to develop them, get them out of depression, give them that social life, give them that relational kind of behavior. To see people as one. You know that most children today that are lacking the background of father and mother in their life today, they go through a lot because they are looking for love outside. They are looking for somebody to tell them you are beautiful. I like your hair. Won't you go to the salon? Can you follow Auntie Denise? Let them do your hair. Can you follow Auntie Denise? Let her buy you ice cream. Do you see this word? Daddy, when are we going out? If a child don't have this thing, all he got from his mother, because let's be honest, most of our mothers, especially our sisters today, they are sending negative signal to their kids, especially the single mothers. In the name of, we need to save our children. Thank you for this discourse, because such discourse, it will make some parents now to sit up with their tools now.
All right then. Madrabuchi from LMA says, I think it's normal because I am not a grumpy person, but whenever my mom is very sick and act like someone that wants to die, I destroy things. There was a time she was very sick and was taken to the hospital, and she was acting like she was giving up. I started breaking things at the hospital, even their glass. After she recovered, I paid for everything I broke. I think it's normal, and you can't just control it. Normal? To be breaking stuff? I don't get. Hold on. A 35-inch smart television is how much now? Say 300 and something thousand? All right? Who has bought 55 inches lately? Any of the brands you can think of. You must not mention the brand. A good smart TV, maybe from 45 inch, will cost from between 200 and something thousand and more. So you get angry and you smash the TV. And it's normal to you. You can't control it. Okay. I've seen this thing happen with children. As a matter of fact, I have seen it happen with my child. She's holding on to something, and I know that she's clearly wasting it. And I decide to take a bit of it so the other part doesn't fall off. For instance, a slice of bread. And I see that the other part of the bread is about to fall to the ground. And I just take out that part so that she can hold on to a part that she can eat. And before you know it, she throws everything on the floor. I'm sorry, but I didn't like it. I didn't like that she did that. What could I have done at that time? She's not even up to a year. But I'm beginning to see that there are things that need addressing. Why would someone take something from you and the best thing you do is throw everything away? I have seen older children do the same thing. Give small to your brother now, you say no. Give small to your brother now, you say no. And then you collect to give small to the brother. And then the child throws everything on the floor. And then the child sits on the floor and starts shaking their leg. And starts... It's an emotion. Something made the child act that way. The child is probably angry you took from what he had. But is a child supposed to be feeling angry, sharing with the brother? These are all emotions. It is just supposed to be feeling angry that you took a part of the food because you didn't want the other part to fall down, and the child decides to throw everything all away. Understanding, managing. First they understand the emotions, then they manage. But how can we help? Ida from Unkara, welcome to the sunny side. Talk to me.
Didi, my character is that too.
You dey throw it things.
I pray that my I dey tell you, I don't carry anchor. I dey tear my shirt.
You dey tear your shirt in anger. Wow.
When when somebody get me angry, once I don't get angry, I dey tear my shirt for inside my bone. Now my character, everything is on my character. I know I do. If people can pray for me, let them pray for me. It's my character.
Do you think it's prayers that you need? Really?
I'm also start controlling myself now. Because I don't damage many things in my life. And I pray, my unfortunately when they come, I will make any of them not take their character. It's very bad. Very, very bad. Thank you for this topic.
All right then. Owosa Prince on Facebook says, we are where we are today because some people reoriented us. I mean, gives us some guidelines to life pursuit. So I think that children should be called together for reorientation or called back from where they are going.
Talk radio. 92.3 Talk radio. #1 Talk.
wants her to tear shirts, he spoils things, he does this and he does that. But again, the children. Because they say that if you catch them young, if you're able to help them at that initial stage, it won't be a problem. Because a small boy who writes this type of note to a lady, a girl in his class, because she said no on St. Valentine's Day, and the child grows up feeling that anybody that says no to me, go hear him. I don't know if you understand. That's what it simply means. The mom applauding him and saying something like, how did she say it? Hold on. I'm trying to find exactly the mom's words. The mom applauding it and saying, what's happening to my system? Please just give me a few seconds to find her exact words. Okay. She says, don't ever play with my son. If you know my son, you know how sweet he is. He was hurt. So yes, he was hurt. It's okay to feel hurt. And the DC in him came out. Them NC girls can't take him. It went viral on Twitter, man. That's like an applause for his acting the way he did. What happened afterwards? So tomorrow a girl says, I'm not doing again. And then he goes about insulting her. So you're not even fine, Seth. What did I even see in you, Seth? You have body odor. You have mouth odor. You're not even like this. Your mother is this. You're not even happy that I'm toasting you. Like, look at you. Like, can you see me? Can you see? I'm doing you a favor. Or maybe he goes physical on the girl for rejecting him. This is just one emotion. Handling rejection, right? What about several others? Now this one says, Zion is right with the whole socially introverted people as a result of their father's lack of socialization. It affected me. Dennis Ingi says, Comrade Ingi Dennis from Gokana, good afternoon, Mega. I'm not Mega. My name is Denise. And I don't sound anything like Constance. I was like that. In my 5 years in uni, from basic studies day to my year 1 till I graduated, I destroyed my phones on each of my birthday because of my friend then. She always looked for a way to hurt me on my birthday, and each time she does that, I smashed my phone on the wall. But I have grown out of that now, and I pray my son doesn't follow suit, though I am confident he won't. Thank you. So what are you doing, or what plans are you making towards nipping it in the bud for your child so he doesn't follow suit? Brightner from Woji says, Denise, combo beating is the remedy for any child trying to display anger issues. Some parents condone the behavior instead of using koboko immediately on the child's back to destroy the insane attitude. Koboko. Didi, good afternoon. How old is the boy? The boy is a small boy. I mean, looking at his handwriting, this boy should be in primary school. All right. I mean, if you go on Linda AKG blog, it was not stated how old the child was, but looking at the handwriting, the child should not be more than 8 years max. So he's a small boy, clearly. Handling it. How can we help the children? How can children be helped to better understand and manage their emotions? Some children cry. Crying is also part of displaying their emotions. You know, some of them have what we call separation anxiety. And crying. And only someone who understands that emotion does exist will be able to handle it, identifying it, helping them understand it and manage it so it does not metamorphose into something bigger than them. Nigerian for good afternoon to you. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 0306416, 0809 0306416. Nigerian for good afternoon to you and welcome.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Elijah.
Hello, can you hear me? Nigerian folk, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Alfred calling from Emeka.
You're welcome, Alfred.
Yeah, pertaining to what you're saying on air, I would say, like the case of the little boy you're talking about, I don't think the mother is really helping. He's a kid. We all had our episodes of kids. While growing up, this is what our parents did.
I have to let you go now. We have a commercial break coming up in the next 12 seconds. So how about you call back after the break, please? Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So the commercial break and the conversation continues. Stay tuned.
People share fake news simply because they fail to think sufficient